Yeah, Mansi is here.
Mansi is also here, but जरा YouTube का भी शुरू हो रहा है. चलो. So Mansi, you have to put your video on if you want to
Man
participate in the discussion.
Mansi, can you hear us?
But she's participating in or not?
Yes, yes, she will. She has quite a number of questions also for you.
Questions तो मैं पूछूंगा ना.
नहीं, हम पूछेंगे.
शो
हम
तो मेरी है.
मगर आज it will be other way round.
नहीं देखो, मेरी शो मेरी रहती है.
आज हमारा शो हम आपसे पूछेंगे.
अच्छा देखो, मेन थिंग है आपने बताना है अब कि
I think
गांधी स्मृति क्या कर रहा है पहले वो.
okay. So are we starting formally now?
नहीं, फर्स्ट थिंग आपको क्या करना है कि
हम्म.
आपको अपना YouTube का जो, अगर आपका YouTube तो नहीं चल रहा आपका वहाँ पे.
नहीं नहीं, हमारा नहीं चल रहा.
मेरा. हाँ ठीक है.
Yeah. Are we
एक
starting
सेकंड
formally? Yeah.
रुको, जस्ट गिव मी 1 सेकंड. यहाँ से. यस, ऑलरेडी. अब मुझे सिर्फ आप देख रहे हो. That's it. तो बताओ विद्यास, थोड़ा सा ना गांधी स्मृति क्या क्या एक्टिविटीज कर रहा है, थोड़ा उसके बारे में बता दो.
Fine. Uh, well, it is a wonderful. Uh, it's really an honor that we are able to have a dialogue on this very important issue of mediation. Gandhi Smriti and Darshan Samiti is the national memorial of Mahatma Gandhi. The place Gandhi Smriti is the place, the sacred place where Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated. To take forward the life and philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi, we have been doing large number of programs, large number of initiatives amongst different cross sections of the society. One of the very important aspect of Gandhian philosophy is non-violent conflict resolution and non-violent communication. And as part of that, we have initiated a series of programs for different stakeholders, which includes the judicial officers, lawyers, prosecutors. We also have training program for the police, the other forces, teachers, both in the schools and universities, and also students. So now to be more focused, what Gandhi Smriti is planning to do is to take up start a whole initiative to promote the whole idea of community mediation and encourage community mediation volunteers right at the grassroots level, say from at the gram panchayat level, or say amongst say the neighborhood committees, neighborhood watch committees in the cities. We plan to have series of initiatives, awareness programs on how people who may not be lawyers, but they are having that skill of resolving disputes. As we know, there are very large number of cases that are piling up in our courts all over the country. So it's so important that we have this alternate dispute resolution system, which is strengthened and strong. And so in that context, and Gandhi was a mediator par excellence, and he in fact if you read his autobiography, and there he says that one of the most important thing that he learned as a lawyer when he was taking up his first case, the case of Dada Abdullah in South Africa, was that the one of the biggest mission of a lawyer is to unite parties and uh, not see that they are further torn apart. So that was his aim, and that was how that was his idea of mediation. And as a lawyer, he said that he had done numerous such kind of cases where his job was to resolve the dispute and bring the conflicting parties together. And also, as we see during the struggle for independence, how he used his techniques of nonviolent communication to continuously have the communication with the opposing party, that is the Britishers at that time. So in that context, Gandhi Smriti felt it was most appropriate. We have been for the past 2 years doing a large number of programs. with, say, the Delhi Judicial Academy, various district courts, law universities on non-violent communication and how it is important for promoting meaningful interactions between the bar and the bench. And in fact, as we will today have a dialogue on how we can promote community mediation, how we can promote the and encourage volunteers, community mediation volunteers in our society right at the grassroots level. It would be really wonderful to listen to you. Probably what I would request you, Vikramji, is that if you can share about yourself, as also as I mentioned to you, we have some kind of some flyers, some flag ops on which we would request you to kindly share your insights during the course of this dialogue. So before we go into those nitty-gritties of those flagging of those points on which we could have discussion, we would really request you to kindly share about yourself. Also, these recordings, as you will be providing us, we will be sharing with all of our participants when we have these programs. And also, for your information, we are going to launch a awareness course with the National University of the Study and Research in Law, Ranchi. Awareness course on effective mediation through nonviolent communication. So, what you are saying, we will also transcribe it and we will put it as a reading material for the participants who take this awareness course.
So in terms of look, in terms of introduction, mediatorvikram.com has all the information. We won't take time on all that aspect. But the important thing is that are you only doing things in India or are you doing things outside India also?
You see, what we plan to do is this course on nonviolent communication. It is globally there, but this whole initiative to promote mediation at the community level at this stage, we are planning to focus on the grassroots levels here in India. We are at this stage not planning to do it abroad, but of course we are having dialogues as part of this dialogue on mediation series. We are having dialogues with senior mediators from different countries
No, but tell
across
me,
the world.
Vedvyas, now you've been around the country, you've been talking to people about mediation. What is the feel that you've got from people in terms of awareness, and what are the ways that they're looking at? What is your feel there?
My feeling is that there is a lot of scope, there is a lot of opportunity for promotion of community mediation in India, encouraging, because you see, if you even in these small mundane disputes that might have in the neighborhood and all, so there will be a lot of people come, they will try to resolve the dispute. So there is already a tradition, there has been a strong tradition of dispute resolution at the community level in India. But what we need to do is further strengthen it, further create awareness on that, and see the real potential people who can really take the lead in in this dispute resolution processes at the grassroots level.
No, but you think
So
that in terms of as people, as communities, are we actually breaking up as communities? So mediation has gone away. So we have to actually build communities and mediation together, or communities exist as you go. You've gone around the country. Look, we have a much limited kind of view of the country. You have a much larger view because obviously you're doing activities all over. So in that sense, are we going to work on both together? Because awareness of mediation is one aspect, the aspect of a community existing is also another important thing. So both have to come together. So what is the feeling that you get on that when you go outside and you talk to people as a community? Are we
my
still
feeling is that with the increasing sort of quote unquote the the materialistic culture, highly individualistic society, of course the sense of community, the community resilience, solidarity, possibly we could say there is definitely there is a lot of difference, possibly say 20 years back, 25 years back and now. So because each one of us are running, competing with trying to
yeah.
compete with each other, and so the sense of community, sense of solidarity probably is not that strong. So we need to work, and as Gandhi was one of the biggest uh, you know someone whom we look upon even at a global level, on someone who bring people together, respect and mutual respect and all. So in that case we need to work at both the aspects of strengthening the communities, I should say, strengthening the communities, and on the other hand, create awareness of
But I think
mediation.
do you think it's something like a
Possible.
chicken and the egg situation? Do they work together? Because according to me, somewhere you have to break the chain. And of course, we're promoting mediation, telling people that there is an option like mediation and all that. But I think the sense of ownership towards communities, I think that aspect also becomes important. So I think being as Gandhi Smriti, I think both aspects. I'm sure you're taking it all together.
Definitely,
I'm sure you are.
we have
You
to
have.
work together on both the aspects. No,
Yeah,
otherwise,
good.
if you do one and leave the other, it may not yield that great result. In fact, for you, we have some flag off, some pointers for.
I told you, Vedas, don't make it an interview. It's supposed to be a nice, casual
No, no,
conversation. You said
that's fine.
dialogue. You said it was not supposed to be an interview.
No, 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 fine, fine, fine. No, it is going to be a dialogue, but it is always good to be a focused dialogue so that we can,
If you see my meetings, the focus comes
I
later. Everything has to go together, and then the focus will come at the end of the meeting.
no, 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 no. Once we flag off certain things, then
Yeah, yeah.
it is
Please,
an
please,
informal.
please.
I agree with you. It is informal dialogue, but also it is so important that we, benefit, and not just me or people who are listening to this at this stage benefit, but also when we play these videos to others, they should benefit from your experience. So that is the key, I suppose. So here, in fact, I would like to share with you some interesting facts, like, uh, you know. Uh, one important aspect, as you have been into a mediator, you are a senior advocate. Uh,
Senior, no, senior advocate, just advocate. Senior advocates are designated senior advocates. That's a different category of people.
okay. So here, one of the aspects which we would like to reflect upon is, there is something called, Gandhi's servant leadership. And that is something which is very essential, can be linked to good mediators or effective mediators. Effective mediators could follow the essence of what we call a servant leadership. Gandhi's servant leadership framework in mediation. In fact, Gandhi says that, I suppose leadership at one time meant muscles, but today it means getting along with people. So also mediators, it is how you build rapport, how you get along with people. In fact, a servant leader to me is someone who is motivated not by a desire to control others, but by a desire to help them realize their dignity and power. And Gandhi preached non-violence and his dedication to care and service. So if you see, when we are talking of mediation, and that's what our idea and approach to uh, the whole idea of mediation has been, that when mediators per se, they would like to help realize the conflicting parties, realize their dignity, their idea of
Look,
no, they're in a conflict, so how they resolve conflict through a win-win situation.
Look,
The
I
whole
told you,
idea is,
first of all, look, I'll concentrate on the dispute aspect. The conflict obviously is a much larger area. We won't get
yeah,
into that. I told
we
you
will go to
my concentration on that. No, no, look,
fine, fine.
you said, basically, you said you're an advocate. Now, let me tell you, the concept of an advocate was that once a person comes to you with a dispute, you have to see that whether they can settle it within themselves. That should be the duty. Look,
Yes.
there are ethics of the profession and how the profession is practiced. So
Mhm.
I'm sure there are very good advocates sitting all over the country who have that intention that, look, we don't want to get parties into a dispute. So as advocates in general, they should be looking at that as a profession.
Mhm.
People in general in every profession should do that. I mean, basically the whole
Definitely.
idea is that culture has to develop. Like I keep talking about the culture of mediation, that has to happen at every interaction.
Mhm.
So whatever interaction you have at whatever point, that whole concept of ethics is the main thing. Now, why do we move away from those ethics? Which is what you said earlier. As a materialistic society, when we start developing,
That's right.
that person has those specific needs he has created for himself.
Mhm.
So for those needs, he needs to maybe get money. If he has to get money, then he thinks that, okay, this is an opportunity. So being a noble profession, that is it's supposed to be looked at differently. But obviously,
Definitely.
whatever the reasons are, let's not blame anyone on this, because there are reasons, for various reasons. As a society, if you're developing in a certain manner, that person, an advocate, is not an alien to that society, is part of that society. So it has to, I mean, let's not blame anyone on this, but we have to start working as people to look at that one thing like this. If it affects us, say if people talk about advocates, that they're like this, they do that, they
Mhm.
put us into, they have these dates, they put us in through and all that, the money
Mhm.
is. But you have to see, are you all also part of that society? In
Definitely.
your life also, I'm sure you're doing these things with other people. So I think we have to, at some point of time, ask every one of ourselves
Mhm.
that what kind of a society are we looking at? Are
Mhm.
we going to curtail our needs? Are we going to say that we are going to need only basics? Or we are going to keep adding things to ourselves? I want the biggest car in the world. I want the biggest house in the world. I want everything. If you keep doing that, definitely every profession will get affected. So,
Yeah, that is true.
so
That is
that
true.
aspect of it has to happen as a society. As a society, it cannot happen with individuals,
Huh.
because individual cannot, for him, everyone, the individual is not at that level when he says, okay, I'll be different. He's
Mhm.
part of it. He has children who are part of that system. You want to put them in schools, they have social pressure on them. So that
Mhm.
social pressure is what is creating problems there.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
it's a, I mean, look, mediation comes in at a certain point. Yes, there's a dispute, it comes in. But should it, certain things should not even reach that level if
Mhm.
as a society we change.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about the larger issue because you are Gandhi Smriti. You are Gandhi Smriti, Vedyas. You are
No,
Gandhi Smriti
no, no,
right now for
no,
me.
no,
So
no.
I have to talk to you like that.
No, 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 not like that. Also, when you are, talking about the disputes and all, I have been interacting with you and also been there in that last program on peer mediation. No, and you have been very strongly underlining the essence of mediators' mindset
Yeah.
and what we call as how we identify potential of people in our society who might have that mediator's mindset, who have a potential to be a good mediator.
Not
So
potential, not potential, Vaidya, not potential. They are good mediators.
yes, they
We
are
don't have
good.
to do anything for them.
So
They know
no,
everything, how to handle the whole process, everything. They're sitting all over the country, all over the world. We
so
just
my
have to
question,
identify them. Yeah.
my question is, like, say for instance, I am the Veda Vyas. So how does Vikram identify whether Veda Vyas has that mediator's mindset or not? How you, as someone who is a professional, identify what are the traits you look on me to see
Look,
whether I
the
have.
moment you say that,
Yeah.
the moment you say that, in a way, you are limiting the whole concept of an individual.
Mhm.
Every individual will have their traits and everything.
That's
The
right.
only thing is that the user, basically the person who is actually out there with a dispute, and I'm saying, when I told you about peer mediation, when we
Mhm.
talk about schools, the
Mhm.
children on the play field are have a fight. Now there is one individual who comes up and helps them sort it out. That individual is the mediator. He
Yeah,
has
that,
everything, or she has everything, whatever gender it might be, has
yeah,
everything going for
yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah.
Even to try and come out with one specific thing, okay, this person has that. No, this is it's a balance of things.
Mhm.
The person is balancing everything out. Their tone might be a certain thing, their tone might be different from my tone, but
Mhm.
their tone might get in some way compensated by something else that they have.
Mhm.
So it's an overall thing. Once you start identifying one individual thing of someone, it's like
Mhm.
any kind of music. It's a rhythm. It's everything flowing together. So it's a which note was the best note, or what is the note. Every note has to work on its own. So that person has everything. They know everything. Don't even get into classifying their traits or anything. It's the person as a whole. Just to take
No,
it as a whole.
no, no, no. I
And
agree. I agree with
now
that.
you're saying identifying. I know I'm saying how, in terms of identification.
Yeah.
Now, when I told you that time, we have three people who are three categories of people. We have the teachers, we have the students, we have the parents, and we, of course, we have the community at large. These
Mhm.
people in their whole sphere actually know who the person is. They
Mhm.
know. We just have to communicate with that person, with the teacher. Look, in your class or in your school, who are the, first of all, I told you we have to educate them on what is mediation.
That's
And
right.
it's a very simple thing. It's a one paragraph thing. If you go to my website also, it's one paragraph. That's all it is.
Mhm.
Now, that basic thing, once the teacher knows that this is a formal concept called mediation, like
Mhm.
you said, it has been happening all throughout. Everyone
It's
keeps doing it.
yes.
You might call it sule kara lo,
Yeah.
samjhota kara lo,
Bilkul.
compromise kara do.
Bilkul.
Someone who helps you do any of these things is a
Mhm.
mediator.
Is a mediator. Yes.
So it's all happening all the time.
Mhm.
So now only thing that needs to be done is the people in the community or the school or with the parents, everyone, they just have to identify. That is where you come in. You've got
Mhm.
that reach. You just
Mhm.
have to send out the basic communication. Look, this is what mediation is,
Mhm.
and this is what a mediator does.
Mhm.
Are there people in your school who are doing these things?
Mhm.
Just tell us that, or you don't, they don't have to tell you also. They
Mhm.
can within themselves identify and tell them, look, why don't you tell your children there in your school to set
Mhm.
up a kind of, let's not call it a center, because
Mhm.
center would mean, oh, give them a room, give them that. No, they can sit under a tree, not a problem. But these people should be available, And any kind of dispute, let's not call it dispute, let's call it a fight. Let's call it a fight. Then anything fight or something happens, that these people are available on immediate notice. I mean, immediate. Okay, this is happening. So and so reach the tree. So if that person reaches a tree and these people come there, and let them try that there. So at least first of all, they're getting experience right there in their schools. Now this will move into the community, because these are the same people who once they go out of the school, they're in the community. So they were available to the community. Plus, they will, of course, they will spread the word. The children who have benefited from it in the school, they will go out of the school. They will spread it there. So that culture of mediation will start trickling into the society.
in the society.
And there's no one better than children to explain to the parents. If there
Definitely.
is a fight happening, they'll say, "Look, in our school, this is what we do.
Mhm,
Either we can have the same person who's in the school, but if
mhm,
the parents have their hesitation, then they
mhm,
can identify within their community who that person is."
mhm,
So ground upward, you start moving. So
mhm.
from the children, then to the community, then a society at large, we move from there. But top bottom also we have to move in terms of
Yes.
whatever we have a pool of experienced mediators all over the world.
Mhm,
Their experience, they for them, like what I do in my meetings and everything. Basically, we are interacting with people from all over the world, seeing
mhm.
what kind of, they also have the same experiences. Look, society is the same everywhere.
Yes,
Languages
yes.
might change, cultures in that sense might same. But as people, we are people. We will do the same thing. So
Mhm.
those people are there. They've got those experiences. Let's all have communicate. Just communicate. Let's just have conversations
Conversation.
around mediation. For me, it is around mediation. Of course, you have a much larger activity portfolio. You're doing other things also, but in terms of for me, your discussion is obviously limited to the mediation part of it. So you have a very major role to play. Yes, the
Yeah.
fact that we discussed that whole concept of the gram panchayats being connected, that
Mhm,
is a, I mean, we whatever 250,000 gram panchayats, if they are available as an infrastructure.
mhm,
Look, I'm according to me anyway, with the mobile connectivity being quite good, at least our country is very quite well connected. A lot
mhm.
of countries, I mean, when I talk to people in Africa and all, there are very major problems in connectivity there. But I'm saying, okay, maybe here also data might be an issue, but at least if you have a gram panchayat, it has its data connectivity. However, it has to work out that with the optic fiber cable coming in. So if that is available, nothing more is required. Just a phone. After that, our phones are so high tech. You
Mhm,
have the camera, you can link directly to YouTube. What are we doing right now?
mhm.
We are just connected from here. We are directly, now it's live streaming on YouTube.
YouTube.
What did I do? I am doing the same thing that a person in a village can do.
That's right.
We have no special technology. Everyone has access to the same technology. When we keep saying, okay, YouTube, this data they're taking from us, this, that. So look at all the what are they doing for us right now without doing anything. What have we paid? We paid zero. And we
Mhm,
have a live stream happening. Anywhere in the world, someone can watch that right now.
mhm,
So let's use that technology and just what I'm trying to say is that let's let people experience mediation by people who are in the villages.
mhm,
They're right there. If a dispute comes in, these people whom we have identified,
mhm.
obviously in the school level, they will have certain role to play. Then at the community level,
They
so
will.
at the base level, at the gram panchayat, there is a place where they come. Who anyone has an issue comes there. These
Mhm,
people are available.
mhm,
Everything can be live streamed from there. Every gram panchayat can have its own YouTube channel. It just,
mhm,
what does it take? Takes nothing. We
mhm,
talk about electricity. You charge your phone these days. Your phone charge 1 hour. These new phones. I mean, they can. You spending so much money. One good phone can also go down, or
mhm.
maybe the sarpanch can have, maybe they have their own good phones. But
Mhm.
whatever it is, that's all the technology you need. So we
That's
have
right.
everything going for us in our country. We just
Mhm.
have to connect it together. That's all.
My next question, point or insight would be that we would request you to share your own insights of being mediator in the context of non-violent communication. As I told you, we are having a very expansive program on to promote non-violent communication in different layers of the society, and this course that we are trying to develop with the National Law School Ranchi would be on effective mediation through non-violent communication. I have got a few slides to share with you on what exactly is nonviolent communication. And in that context, we would request you to kindly share your own mediation experience with
You want
us.
yours? We will share your slides.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Right. Give me a minute. But in any case, with regards this whole concept now, I think mediation by itself, there's so much I think people discuss about mediation, but there's so many facets to it. It's not
Yes,
just
no,
it's not just I mean we talk about commercial disputes and all those things, but mediation has to be looked at as a much larger picture, much larger.
yeah,
Whether
yeah,
that is happening or not, people understand that or not, I don't know. Is that happening? That's why I asked you. You had the ground reality available to you.
yeah.
I
No,
want
no,
to understand that very importantly, because when we go into your presentation and all, we'll see it from that perspective.
no.
That what how do people understand what mediation is really? I mean, you said generally yes, there is a concept that maybe they understand, but what is your feeling on that?
You see more and more in the when you go to the villages and all, so there will be so many disputes which they can easily traditionally, if you see go especially in the tribal societies, in the tribal communities, they have such a beautiful system of all those areas which are under the PISA Act. So there they beautifully, they have a beautiful tribal system where say for, and the the person who is supposed to uh, be the final arbitrator, no, they have a lot of respect. Say if two people are having a small dispute over certain things, then they will quickly try to resolve it, and then maximum, in case some punishment is to be given, they will say okay, you give one एक मुर्गा उनको दे दो और वो खत्म
No,
हो
but
जाए.
you no. The thing is, this is where the concept lies. You use the word arbitrator. That now this is where look, people even talk keep saying in our country panchayats have been there. Now
Mhm.
have the panchayats been acting as mediators, or have they been acting as arbitrators? Because if they give a decision, so that means the whole concept of mediation by itself has to be understood,
Yeah,
which is where I think there is a fundamental issue there.
there is a fundamental difference between the two. Someone who is
So
trying
this
to
is
force a
exactly, I mean,
particular,
everyone keeps saying, you ask anyone, panchayats used to do with are mediators. Are they really mediators? We have to ask ourselves.
that is,
Or were they for handing out a decision?
whether they're arbitrators or mediators,
Yeah,
that is a
because it has to
definitely
be very
very
clear. Because all over the world, we keep saying in India we have this old tradition and everything, but really, what is it actually? We have to be able to discuss it, because let's not take it. It was very nice to say so, but
Mhm.
either we are saying that the panchayats have to act as mediators. Is that clear? I
Yeah.
don't know. What is your understanding of the whole panchayati system?
See, to be very frank, I have little exposure to, when we are talking of the panchayat and their system of, justice delivery, whether on resolving disputes. To be very frank, it is a new area that I myself have entered into it. So I'm trying to learn the whole thing. My whole understanding has been more, all these days have been with mostly the judicial officers, lawyers, and all have been
No,
doing. I've not been going much to the grassroots level. So this is something which we are now entering into. So I think over the course of next few months, while we start
no, so
interacting,
yeah, no, but I think
for your information, we have already got. No, the other day we had a discussion with the director. He said already there are 2 gram panchayats in Jharkhand for you to experiment this whole idea
that's damn good.
on
That's damn good.
dispute-free villages. It is going to be a learning experience. It's going to be a dynamic process. So no, as I again go back, if you can kindly share that so that we can, we would really look forward to get your views as your own, as someone who has been a mediator, your own experience, some interesting cases that you might have taken up, or something which will be very useful to the participants who are going to see this video. That would be very useful. You
You want to
see,
go through? You want to go through your presentation first? I
yes,
thought
yes,
you.
yes. That would be nice. So basically, what we are trying to promote is how we can promote effective mediation through the use of the strategies of nonviolent communication. You see, the other day I was there in one of the session, and one of the international mediator, he said that he himself is not a lawyer. He's a basically a behavioral scientist. Psychologist. He said that I feel for a successful mediation, it is 80% the ingenuity of a good communication skills that the mediator has, and 20% on the process. So of course that is his point of view, and definitely you could
No, I tell
share.
you, let me tell you one thing. I keep telling people this:
Huh.
never ever discuss the process ever, because
Yes.
it is so individual based. What is, well, like I was telling you earlier, what works for me will not work for someone else.
That
You've seen
definitely.
me in these meetings. I cut off a lot of people while they're talking, but it
That's right.
works for me because they know the intention is good. They works
Mhm,
for me. Now,
mhm.
the same way, if you do it, they might think it's rude. Who knows?
That's
With me also, some people might think it's rude. So
yes.
I think these individual process discussions that people have, I
Mhm,
think I feel that is not required because of the kind of whatever process in terms of identification that we are talking about,
mhm,
these people themselves know how to
mhm.
handle the whole process. They know.
Definitely.
So
Yes,
we
yes.
should not get into, because moment, like I said, if these people as individuals, they might be the best mediators
Mhm,
in the world, but
mhm.
we tell them, look, you have to get into this box. This is
Yes.
how you go about it.
Then
We
the whole
finished
things actually,
individuality. This is a
yes,
process. This is something which will flow as individuals. Let it flow as individuals. Don't
definitely.
try to put it into any structure, because each individual, like when you have so many billions of people in this world, they say seven people are alike. That's what they say. If you haven't found,
Definitely.
I don't know whether you found your other six, but I haven't found my other six. But
Mhm,
if there are seven only, that means there's
mhm,
so many individuals there. So let them be treated as individuals. Then that there is a point when two, I said, dispute happens, two parties come in.
mhm,
That they're individuals by themselves. That combination is so unique. That
mhm.
combination itself is unique. That the
Unique.
mediator comes in, that's another uniqueness coming in. So it's a very unique concept. Don't, I mean, I'm saying that this concept of theory behind it is actually going to spoil it, and people who are
Definitely. I
listening, they will
totally
think,
agree with
oh, this is how it's done.
you.
All I can tell you is that I have done things in such a larger level. I'm telling people that okay, when theory part they say that mediation is facilitated negotiation. So I'm
Mhm,
saying, when does negotiation happen for the first time? When you're
mhm,
drafting a contract,
mhm.
any agreement, any contract.
Definitely.
So
Yes.
why should you not have a mediator sitting when the drafting is happening?
Mhm,
Then
mhm.
a fair agreement should come out. The whole idea between parties should be that you should have a fair agreement. If
That's right.
there are power imbalances, that
Mhm,
mediator should be able to handle that. So I
mhm.
think we have to open up the whole concept of
Concept.
mediation where all it can be used, because I want these mediators who are identified, they should
Mhm,
get work also. There are
mhm,
mediators all over the world who are
mhm.
sitting there. They've got certifications, accreditations, everything, qualifications. There is no work happening.
In fact, in this context only, there is a question of mine before we go into those slides. You just talked about that point, and my question for you, know, where I would like to have a greater understanding would be is that there is a lot of misconception on where to use mediation, when to use mediation, and how to use mediation. Could you give throw more light into this whole aspect? There
Look,
is a lot of issues.
any point of time, any point of time, whenever there is, I am saying that the first instance, when the first instance you can feel that a dispute is arising. I'm going to talk about dispute. There are people who will talk about the conflict part,
Mhm,
conflict resolution. I won't get into that because that's by itself a large area to itself.
mhm.
In a dispute, everyone knows when a dispute arises,
That's right.
not a
That's
problem. Now,
yes.
and this will happen at every level. I
Mhm.
told you, on one end you have the schools in a fight at a play field. On
Play.
the other hand, you have large organizations, the contracts with the government. There are disputes there.
Mhm.
I mean, very high value disputes
I
happening.
will.
So at all ends, mediation obviously is an option where the whole attempt is that, look, there are circumstances which happen. Changes,
Mhm.
circumstances change. Let's look at the commercial part.
Mhm.
This whole pandemic is a change in circumstance
That's right.
for everyone. They've been affected. So now to say, go by the rights that you have, okay, under this contract, yes, you have to pay me this much.
Mhm.
If that person can't pay you that much, if there's an issue that has been created, as human beings, first of all, we have to be able to understand the other person's circumstance.
Mhm.
So all you're doing is you're sitting. I have also said, if you go to my website there, I keep saying dispute resolution is best handled within parties themselves.
Mhm.
They don't need a third party.
Mhm.
Look, if you are a good human being and you want to actually understand the other person's circumstance, you can actually sit together with that person and do it.
Mhm.
But if you want to take advantage of someone's situation, then
Mhm.
in that case, obviously things will not get resolved,
Definitely.
because you are trying to get the best out of the situation. So I
Mhm.
think as that level is the best.
Mhm.
Now, when does that level go to the mediation level?
Mhm.
Obviously there are a lot of factors which between people, egos come in. There are communication issues. Some people
Mhm.
don't understand, maybe the miscommunication happens, lack of
Definitely.
communication happens, whatever the reasons might be, I mean, whatever. So there's someone else who's there to be able to handle it, explain to them, get the communication going. make sure that the egos don't come in, handle that. So that is where I said that people who have that mindset know how to handle it. How they do it, what words they use, what tone they use, what hand gestures they use, is up to them. We are
Mm-hmm.
not there to tell them how to go about the
Obvious,
process. It's a
obvious.
very individual thing. But
Mm-hmm.
at least, when should you move from dispute resolution within yourselves to
Mm-hmm.
mediation? That is where you have to see where if things are getting worse. Look, allegations, counter allegations, if you keep doing that and the
Mm-hmm.
whole it's going to get even uglier, then
Mm-hmm.
in that case it's better that you don't do it within yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if this is simple, people know within their families. There are
Mm-hmm.
obviously people, there are fights that happen between, there could be property disputes, any kind of thing within families that happen. So they have a old they, I mean, obviously society, the structure has changed, but otherwise there used to be obviously a elderly person, either within the family or in the relative, someone was there. You went to them and you generally, they explained to you, okay, in their no, because of their experience and everything, they will be able to explain to you and make you understand, and things got resolved.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it's been happening. That's what you said, no? This there's a culture. So this is a culture in every society. Now, as individualistic societies, when we have developed, definitely those people might not be available
Might not get it.
for every
That's
every family. They've, of course, there are a lot of factors now why families have developed in that manner. That again, that's
yeah,
like
yeah.
a that's a whole area of
That
discussion.
is all
Yeah,
the
we won't
whole
get into that.
sociology of the
Yeah, exactly. So that part of it is by itself for
Mhm.
other people to get into that
That's
part.
right.
But because of that, the point is that that mediator within the family has maybe gone.
Yes.
People have started not looking at people because of their age. They're looking at
Mhm.
their materialistic, what they have. Okay,
Mhm.
I will only listen to this one because he has so much money. I will not listen to this person because of his age. Could be for a
Mhm.
lot of factors.
Could
So
be.
basically, then that is why you go outside the family.
Mhm.
That is when a professional comes in for a lot
That's
of
right.
disputes. Why would, when we are talking about mediators as such,
Mhm.
let's not say everyone has an outsider. We are
Mhm.
saying within the family also that
It
person is
can
still
be
a
possible.
mediator,
Yes,
but
yes.
a professional or a person from outside coming in comes in at that stage when either that other whether individual is not available
Mhm.
within the family or within that community. So business also has communities.
Mhm.
So there are communities in this country also, business communities, which have managed to create a mediation culture within
Mhm.
themselves.
Mhm.
It is all theirs, which is what you will have to do. Vidya.
Mhm.
This is a lot of work for you to
Mhm.
actually first put down somewhere what all is already happening.
That's right.
So if you identify that particular business community which has
Mhm.
actually created this whole culture of mediation between themselves, so whatever disputes happen with that community get handled within the community. So
Mhm.
how did this happen? Why did this happen? The whole process, their whole maybe interviews with them. This has
Mhm.
really worked for us, and otherwise this would have happened, we would have had to go through litigation, all those
That's right.
costs would happen. So because a businessman understands money, so
Yeah.
once they hear this community talking about it, they can easily then use it and say,
Mhm.
look, they've worked on it, it's worked for them, let us try it.
Mhm.
So I think we need to go throughout the country, at least, I mean, we are talking about the country. For me, I'm saying all over the world, we have
Mhm.
to first see what all is already happening,
Mhm.
pick up those good people.
Mhm.
If you have interviews with them, you can circulate everything. Is now you can do it on social media so fast.
That's right. That's right.
Put it down. You should have your one channel only dedicated to mediation. So you are
Mhm.
doing all general things, na? Gandhi Smriti, that channel is doing a lot of things. Why
Yeah.
not just do only mediation and
Mhm.
get people who are actually using it,
Mhm.
them talking about it, people who are doing the mediation, them talking about it. I think it'd be a good concept.
Mhm. So now we can go back to the nonviolent communication aspect, and then
Yeah.
we would request you to kindly share your some interesting experiences. That would be very useful. Actually.
But we're doing the your presentation. Now you want the
Yeah,
presentation.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
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 That's right.
Should I
So
go?
actually, this is what we are talking about is nonviolent communication. In this, basically, what we are doing is that it is like something we call as the healthy communication, the positive communication, and with this, actually, we can promote and strengthen relationships. We can handle disputes or small fights very constructively and in a very proper manner. uh, so I wanted to share with you the what exactly is nonviolent communication, so and its various elements. So if you could kindly
Yeah.
share those slide. Yeah. Basically, this is what a very beautiful explanation is. A very senior Gandhian, Natvat Thakkar, and we use his sort of quote unquote, definition of nonviolent communication. He says he means by nonviolent communication means that basically the communication that we are trying to do, whether it is verbal or non-verbal or even our thought process, it has to be completely non-violent in every aspect. So he feels that even our thoughts, like I may be talking to you and using very very maybe a completely non-violent conversation, but in the back of my mind, if I am having ill feelings and ill will, so then that is violence. So he says that it has to entail both non-violence in our verbal communication, in our non-verbal communication, in our thoughts and actions, and that is the complete holistic communication ecosystem has to be non-violent in completely. Also, if you see the elements of non-violent communication, and in fact that those are important elements which I feel are very important for mediator to take into consideration, or need to have those possibly necessary skills to be a good mediator. If we can kindly see those elements of non-violent communicator, uh, the elements of non-violent communication. Yeah, elements. So the first element is non-violent communication means complete lack of violence in the way we communicate with others, be it verbal, non-verbal, our thoughts and ideas. Then the next one is the next slide. Basically, is the second element of non-violent communication. It is self-awareness, no understanding of the self, and constructive self-talk and inner dialogue, which actually means constructive intrapersonal communication. So self-awareness is an extremely important element of nonviolent communication. The next element of nonviolent communication is how we avoid stereotypes when we are communicating, because many of the times we get entrapped into different kind of stereotyping, whether someone is from a particular class or background or culture. So we get entrapped into these stereotypes, and that actually is results in dysfunctional communications. Next is the power of empathy. How through the power of empathy we can connect with people, how we can develop empathetic connections. That is something very very important element of nonviolent communication. And the next one is compassion. Compassion again is very very important, and in fact if you see empathy, compassion, gratitude, these altruistic uh, tendencies, no, they are extreme, they are actually linked to the neurosciences of the brain. So the more we to be empathetic, the more we are compassionate, the more we express gratitude, it as linked to our well-being. And so many psychological studies suggest that it leads us to be more happy and less stressful, and so on and so forth. The next important element is how we are flexible and openness in our communication, because much of the problems, many times you see disputes happen because we are absolutely not flexible, we are inflexible, we are not open. We feel that whatever we are saying, that is correct, not the other person, and that brings a breakdown in communication. So being flexible and openness in our communication is important, and I've already talked about the importance of gratitude. The next important element is connecting with needs of others. Again, say for instance, if I'm having a dispute with someone, if I'm able to really connect to the needs of that particular person, on try to understand why is that person behaving in such a way, much of the problem might be we might be able to solve. So connecting with needs of not only others but also our needs, what is that need of mine because of which I'm probably having a tiff off with that particular person. So that is again an important element of nonviolent communication, that listening skills extremely important aspect of nonviolent communication, listening and active and deep listening skill. And the last one is no the last two one, moralistic judgments. Again, we judgmental communication is something we call as alienating, life alienation, alienating communication. We alienate the other person. So we try to see how we avoid moralistic judgments and negative evaluative language, the last aspect of nonviolent communication, the negative avoidance of negative evaluative language. So these are some of the elements of nonviolent communication, and we have this, series of workshops and training program on how, of course, with case studies, with different experiences and all, we have these programs. So in the context of mediation, we would really look forward to listening to you on these as elements of nonviolent communication and how they're important
Look,
for.
I don't know exactly what all you people have in mind when you say non-violent communication. Obviously,
Mhm.
the theory part of it, you know that I'm not a theory kind of person, so I have not read what you have written also. But in general, what I'm saying is we don't know what non-violent really means. When a mother scolds a child, is it violent or non-violent communication? I don't know. What do you think?
Well, it depends on the situation. Like, of course, if the you know, of course, the mother needs to be empathetic, but it scolds a child to for his or her own good. Because if
That's exactly what that's exactly what a mediator needs to do sometimes. So that is why I'm saying that these aspects,
Mhm.
how to communicate, because some people maybe they understand that,
Mhm.
oh, you don't have to say anything to anyone, just to let them say what they want. If that is the way that you're talking about nonviolent communication, maybe in the sense of the way I would be mediate, maybe that will not fit in. For me, there are times when you have to be able to handle the situation in a certain manner.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
your tone
It has
and the
to be
way you
from
go.
case to case basis.
Exactly. So that tone and also I don't. So I'm saying that if the Gandhian philosophy on nonviolent communication was you can't even scold someone, you
Mhm.
can't say anything to someone, then
Mhm.
in that sense, obviously they'll be different from what I would think. But I'm
Mhm.
just thinking that a child is putting their finger into an electrical socket and
Mhm.
the child is pulled away.
Yes,
Is that
yes.
violence? I don't think it's
No,
violence.
that is not violence, obviously
Exactly.
not.
And if we shouted at, don't do it, it's not
Mhm.
violence. It's not
That's not
non. It's not violent communication.
no.
Because of the what end result comes out of it is
Yes,
also
yes.
important. So
That's
that
very.
aspect also I think needs to be discussed whenever non-violent communication is discussed.
Mhm.
According to me, it's not just a matter of saying, because when the communication goes out and the whole
Mhm.
concept of this Gandhian philosophy goes out, sometimes people might get. I mean, I don't know. Let's not say confused, but they might think that that communication means we should not shout at anyone. We should just have a society where everyone talks nicely to each other. I
Mhm.
don't think that, according to me, is the right approach. There
Oh,
are times
if you can share some interesting experiences of yours on how you've been using, what is the approaches you've been using when
look,
mediating?
I'm telling you, let me tell you, I don't even think about all this.
Mhm.
That is what I'm saying. The theory part of it is not baggage on me.
Mhm.
So these things, when I'm in any kind of, it could be a mediation, could be a meeting, could be anything.
Mhm.
No words come to me in my mind. Look, with Vyas had said that you have to be empathetic. Well, if
Mhm.
empathy comes out, it comes out. If it doesn't come out, it doesn't come out. Good, good or bad, I can't say. The end result is what matters. So
Mhm.
I can't say that that whole concept of trying to say be empathetic. No, you are empathetic or you're not empathetic. As a
Mhm.
person, you are what you are. I
Mhm.
can't be. How can I be? It's like showing something to someone.
Mhm.
Oh, I really understand what you're doing, but I don't mean it. It has to
Mhm.
come from within. So when
Mhm.
you start
It
getting
has
all
to be.
this,
You
yeah,
see, non-violent communication can't be something like, no. We can't say that A plus B equals to C. There cannot be any mathematical
no, no.
formula
What I'm
to.
saying,
It
yeah,
has
what
to
I'm saying
come
is
from
that
within. It has to
everything, all these aspects that you're
commit
talking
deep
about,
commitment,
yeah, what I'm
basically.
saying is that look, whatever your concept of nonviolent communication when it goes out is
Mhm.
goes out for the larger public to, and maybe for them to just think that there is a concept like that. But when we are talking about mediation, and we're talking about mediators, I
Mhm.
am saying that these people that I am saying we need to identify, which are
Mhm.
already there, they have all this inbuilt in them.
Mhm. Mhm.
All these aspects are inbuilt. We
Mhm.
don't really have, we don't have to teach them anything.
Mhm.
That is why we are saying that identifying the people with the mediator mindset.
That's right.
The mediator mindset, this is one aspect of it which is already inbuilt. So
Mhm.
to even tell them
Mhm.
that okay, you have to be like they, no, they don't know everything. Now we just have to be able to get it out from them. That look, this is also an area of practice.
Mhm.
You are actually doing it, but
Mhm.
this is actually something that you can do on a larger scale within your communities on a
That's right.
global level, on a national level. All that is what I'm saying. So look, I always told you, you've heard me a number of times,
Yes, yes.
books and theories are not my scene. So even if you ask me, you'll be really disappointed because you are looking for some words of wisdom which Ken Cloak can give you. I can't give you those words of wisdom.
No
For
problem.
me, it's that approach. It is the
Uh-huh.
person.
person.
And
Yes,
how
yes.
many do we need? I mean, in what 130 crore, if you, or we say 1.3 billion people, how many do
Hmm,
we need? If a few
hmm,
million, that's all we need.
hmm,
So we don't. So educating in general is Gandhi Smriti doing that.
hmm, hmm,
For me, the focus is to be able to identify those 1 million, 2 million, what we have to reach.
hmm,
We have 250,000 schools.
hmm, hmm,
No, we have 2.5 million schools.
hmm, hmm.
So in one school, I'm sure you can get more than one person with that mindset.
That's right.
If you
That's
get
right.
10 of them, you got 25 million kids lying there as mediators.
Mediators.
Forget the larger population. 250 million children are there in schools.
Hmm, hmm,
You
hmm,
all we need. So I'm saying that this theory part you people are doing damn good, but we
hmm.
just find a way out that we can go out there and just
But
identify those
I
people,
don't. Yes, yes. Hmm.
create some. No, you have questions to ask. The problem is that you've come with agenda. With when you meet me, don't come with agenda. That I have to ask this question.
No,
I
no.
want this
Also,
answer.
Mansi is there. I'm sure she also
Yeah,
wants to be.
Mansi.
Mansi is a has been a law student. Now she's doing a PhD and mediation. Her thesis is on mediation. So,
Okay, so theory. You're the theory person. I don't need to tell you
no,
anything about theory. Mansi, what do you say?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Regarding the theory, I believe law has given me a lot because just now you've mentioned that how will we consider something to be non-violent. So I will apply the criminal law principles here, wherein the intention should matter
Yep,
apart from the act, sir. So if the mother's intention is only to help the child, to tell him or her what is correct and what is not, then the action will certainly not be violent. But
exactly.
if the intention behind any action is to harm someone, then certainly it will be violent for
This
sure,
is what
sir.
I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. As a mediator, this is exactly what you have to look at. Is the person with the mediator mindset has a good intention. Now, how he goes about it, how he communicates, whether you start classifying that communications, this is violent communication, this is non-violent communication, not going to work. So the concept being what you're saying, intention, then that person has to have a inbuilt good intention. I can't
Right.
tell the person you have a good intention, then I've identified the wrong person.
that's right.
The person just has it in them.
Mhm.
Right, sir. But in that way, we cannot go for something called community mediation because we will not actually be able to identify people with that kind of mindset. And also,
Why?
a
Why do
good
no
number of
negative?
people.
Okay, one another thing I told you, Bachi, if you ever go through my videos, with my show, no negatives are going to be spoken. Tell me how it can be done now, how it will not happen. So, okay, what are the positives that you can talk about? There was one girl from some student, exactly the same thing happened with her. Every sentence was started with a negative. I said, now you don't use any negative. Sentence stopped, communication stopped. Did not have anything to say beyond that. So, any positive, you tell me. No negatives, that's for another show, for another person.
Okay, so then let us consider that each of one of us has that inbuilt
No, no, no,
capacity
no,
to.
no. Everyone doesn't have it. Please. That is why the identification is required. If everyone had it, then there's no issue at all. Everyone doesn't have it.
So supposedly we identify such people.
Yeah.
So how can
Yeah.
we actually train them
Why
so
should you
as
need to
to
train them? They already have it. They can train you. They know everything. It is, look, I'll tell you what the problem, Ansi, is that on the one end, we have theories. Let me tell you the mediation, the words that are used in mediation. There is Batna, Vatna, Zopa, all these words are
Yes,
used. Tell
yes.
me, person who's in a process and on a school playground, does the person really have to use the word Batna? What does it mean? Best alternative to a negotiated agreement? That's what it
Yeah.
is.
yes,
A
yes,
Yes.
worst,
yes.
what is it going to say? Look, agar you don't settle it here, you will go to the principal. This will happen to you. He's actually told them what the situation is. That is what it is. If worst situation or best situation. So I think they know everything. They don't have the theory, the words. We don't need them to have the words. The end result is that you have to help parties to settle their dispute. That is a very specific thing you need to do. You do not need to give them theory of this. Oh, I knows this word. I don't know this word. Those things are very immaterial.
Okay, sir. Because we are dealing with the real life situations, and in
Yeah.
real life, we do not have actually people trained with that kind of mindset that we are communicating. When they are talking, they are in a flow, the flow of emotions
Exactly.
or actions
Exactly.
and reactions.
And the moment you put theory in their mind, they're going to
They will
start
be.
questioning their each word, every sentence. They'll say, what are there are stages of a mediation? What stage are we at? Is there this an impasse situation? Oh, look, they know it's an impasse or not. They know how to handle it also.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm
No,
saying
and
that,
all those, whether it is a transformative model or
yeah,
it
exactly.
is an
Uh,
insight model or
what
facilitative
does it
mediation
matter?
or
You have to
interest
get
based or position based.
exactly. Look. I'm not saying that the academic institutions should close down. I'm sure they are doing some good things there. I am not part of it, so I don't know what all they're doing. But on the practical part of it, I can tell you these things never cross my mind. All these words don't cross my mind ever. That is this stage? Is it that? Or not at all. It's a flow. It has to be a flow because it is. If it's not a flow, then you are missing out on something. The moment a mediator starts thinking and themselves, is actually jumping to something which is not there. Let it flow from what the it's a party driven process. We keep saying it's a party driven process. So let it flow within the parties. The mediator starts doing his own calculation and wants to come in a certain manner. He's already spoiled the process.
Mhm.
It has to all work together. Everything's happening to the
It
end
has to
result.
be an organic thing,
Yeah,
natural
exactly.
process. No, look, yeah, obviously, because to be very frank, when I started first doing that course on mediation or dispute management, so then all these words that you use, batna and vatna, and also, to be very frank, as someone who is from the field of communication, I got very confused. But then when I tried to analyze it at a very critical level, I said, oh, this is something which we have been doing, as you said, in the
Exactly.
playground, but of course, from a theoretical point of view, those are they are all very correct in their own right,
No,
in
no,
their own
absolutely. I'm saying, look,
right.
there is that whole world exists, and
Mhm.
that world will exist. Everyone can't be part of every world. I
Yes,
can't be
yes,
part of every world. You can't be part of every world.
sure,
If your
sure.
worlds exist, and let them
Mhm.
exist. And nothing wrong with any world that exists. I mean, there's
Mhm.
no problem. And we are
Mhm.
not out there to in any way criticize anyone or question anyone. Our job is very simple.
Mhm.
We have to, in some way, bring out these mediators all over the world, and we have to make sure disputes get resolved.
And
That's our
also,
very limited view.
what I want to underline is, no, the course that we are trying to put together, we are not going to have all these hardcore terminologies, because we are very clear it is supposed to be reached out to the common people. We are not looking for, say, a law student don't need it. Mansi has already studied all these things in a law, so she is not going to go for a Gandhi Smriti course. So it
No,
is a
no,
common
there
people.
was some very nice thing. I don't know whether this was WhatsApp message or wherever it was, that basically anything, if you
Mhm.
can't explain to a 6-year-old, there is some problem in how you're going about it. Everything should be that simple that a 6-year-old can understand. Why
Yes.
6-year-old? I don't know. What is that stage? A 6-year-old has what stage it is in life, but
Mhm.
that is what that thing was, and that is exactly how your communication should go out.
Definitely,
It's so
definitely.
simple because things are simple when you broke it down. Everything is so simple. Why
Mhm.
complicated? And then look, the thing is, there is of course a whole concept. Oh, this is mediation. It is like some rocket science which is going to happen, and suddenly we'll go to Mars in it. It's not going to happen. It's a very simple process which happens all the time in our lives.
Mhm.
All the time. All the time. When I say that, all the time.
All the time. Yeah, yeah. That's right.
And there is this whole thing comes up, mediation law. The whole concept comes up. The point is the mediation process. If you have a law in it or on it, it's going to become a major issue.
Mhm.
What we have conciliation. We
Mhm.
have a very good law on conciliation.
Yeah.
Both of them have to work together. Mediation is the informal process
Mhm.
which will happen on the road when the fight happens. It will happen on with neighbors. It will happen in schools. It'll happen, and there'll be people who will mediate, and they will make sure that okay, they'll attempt at least to resolve.
Mhm.
That is going to be mediation.
Mhm.
Whenever a formal process is required,
Mhm.
that you want to look, the best part in our country is we have that conciliation.
Mhm.
That the settlement agreement which comes out of conciliation is as good as a consent award, which is as good as a decree of the court.
Mhm.
Countries are talking about it now. We got it in 1996.
Yeah.
People, I don't know why they don't talk about it, that both of them have to go hand in hand to say, even talking about this comprehensive law. What do you mean comprehensive law? That informal process, can you regulate? Can you tell your uncle, go get a qualification first, go get yourself accredited, and then you can come and talk to us? Is it going to happen that way? It's never going to happen. I mean, this theory, that's again, I'm saying this theory angle now goes into a direction which I also don't understand. It's very clear. We have a very good setup in our country. Can't get better. You have the informal process which has, you can do what you like. In our Arbitration Conciliation Act, it says the duty of the arbitrator to see that the matter can be settled by the parties through mediation, conciliation, or any other method. So parliament, when it uses different words, it understands the difference. There is some difference in the thing. So that is what they said, that mediation is the informal process. You go there, if you can settle the thing, you can come back to the arbitrator and a consent award can be passed. But if you want to go for conciliation, you can go out of the arbitration process, go for conciliation. That also becomes a consent award. So everything is available to us. The MedAb, everyone's talking about MedAb. We got it in 1996. Ab MedAb is in our act in 1996. Why do we talk? I mean, we're just, I think the theory sometimes that is why becomes a problem. It is everything so simply put. You have everything, just work on it. In India, at least, we have it. Anywhere else in the world, also people can come and do they can have mediation under the Arbitration and Conciliation Act. There's no one stops anyone from doing it under that act. The best part is confidentiality and without prejudice is protected under the act. In the US also, there is one particular mediator who's going around the country saying confidentiality is not protected in the US because they don't have a uniform law. There's a draft law which has gone out to the states, but every state has not adopted that as part. So that means in one state, if you have a mediation, the information from that mediation can be asked for in a court in another state. In our country, we are so lucky we have one law. That law for conciliation protects confidentiality without prejudice in the whole country. Can you get better than that? So we are at a very, very good footing. We just now need to just take it forward. Imagine now, Vidyas and Mansi, think that in a village, now when you go and you say, okay, you can do conciliation. We are obviously saying mediation because ease of usage. You won't say mediation and conciliation. You'll say using the word mediation. But when you tell them that, look, you can within yourselves sit together, get into a settlement agreement under the Arbitration and Conciliation Act. That is a court decree. That means you get a court decree sitting in your village. How can it get better than that? So I think people just need to, this information has to go out and you are the best medium to do it. You have the reach. You can, when it goes from the Gandhi Smriti, the word Gandhi comes in, there's no political thing added to it, which is very good. So I think that is why you have a very major responsibility. You have to really take it up very seriously.
That's right. In fact, one important thing which I am now getting clearer as far as that academic portion is concerned, the course that we are developing after with this conversation of yours, is that the challenge before me, and of course Mansi is also helping me with the course material, is to make it very simple. If it becomes very complicated, then the people, because it will be I am putting it together in English and it will be translated into Hindi and possibly other Indian languages. So if it becomes very complicated, so the common person whom we are trying to look at as a community mediation volunteer may not understand.
I'll tell you, when I started my practice, I started with a law firm. I mean, when I was a student itself, I was with that law firm, this partner who I was working with. That person, his communication was very clear. He said everything has to be put out so simply, because he also understood that judges don't have that much time. So I'm saying even communication in courts has to be so simple, everything, everywhere you go. So things get complicated only because we complicate them. So any information anywhere it goes out should just be simple. Don't think that the person knows anything. In life in general, I'm saying, in general, why should you assume that this person knows something? Start with the basics. Yeah, what is I don't need to show you that I know so much. Okay, I can use these big words. I don't know big words. Yeah, my vocabulary is limited. As long as I can communicate to you, I'm good. You're not an English professor. I don't know those big words, but why do I need to throw big words at you?
That's right.
If I can't communicate in simple words, there's a problem in my communication. It means if I need big words to throw at you, then it's like I throw missiles at you. Why do I need missiles at you?
That's right. Mansi, you have some other points you were saying for sir?
Yes, sir. Since I'm pursuing my PhD research work in this area, how to use non-violent communication in mediation, it would be really great if you could just give me some insights into this field, how to use non-violent communication.
I told you importantly, the whole very important aspect is this: we have to decide what non-violent communication is, and which you rightly yourself said, intention. If intention is there, so the mediator, the way he talks to the parties, you might think that, oh, why is the mediator behaving in a certain manner in that conduct? But to be able to handle that situation, I don't call it non-violent communication. It is, and I can't call it violent communication for sure. So where do we fall in between that somewhere? Because if we are clear what you just said, that if the intention is good, anything goes. Then there's no issue. Then there's no problem. Then there is no concept of non-violent communication. Everything is communication then. So I think we have to just be able to put it down to that basic thing. That are we going to say if your intention is good, however you go about it is non-violent? Are we going to say that is non-violent communication? Then I'm good with that. Then there is no problem. But if you say no, I want you to fall into this concept, you will not raise your voice, you will not use gestures in a certain manner, you won't do this, then I have a problem with that, because that will limit at least my way of going about life. So, and I don't think I have a violent communication. I don't think so. So there has been these theories become a problem for me, because I will question those aspects. Obviously, your understanding of the word might be different, my understanding might be different. So I think we just need to come down to some, maybe let's not use the word non-violent communication. Let's talk about what kind of communication. And according to me, if your intention is good, how you go about it, I think is perfectly all right. In mediation or otherwise. Like right now, if I raise my voice like this, I mean, you might think, no, no, why did he raise his voice so much? I mean, he's just talking to me. Should I have just spoken in this tone? How long can I speak to you in this tone? I'm not in that level. It's not like that. I can't do this. No process will happen in this world like this. So it has to be like this. It has to be like this. So
Yes.
I don't. So I won't know what when you say non-violent communication. Which Vedvyas is the professor of non-violent communication. He will tell us.
So, do the techniques which you apply in any mediation process have a certain standard specific set of? Is there any standard specific set of techniques which you apply? Because what I could decipher from our conversation is that everything is going to be different from case to case. But is there
Absolutely.
something which applies in common to
Yes,
every each and every case?
one common thing applies, that the intention of the mediator should be he wants to help the parties to resolve the dispute. That is the common thing in every mediation. If that intention is there, everything will fall around it. There will be no issue at all. And the person has to have the mediator mindset. That mediator mindset by itself will become a class by itself. So, Mansi, do a specialization in that. What is mediator mindset and how do we identify it? This by itself should be a course which should go out, and everyone in this country should be able to access it, and they should be able to identify and put it down somewhere. Look, I've identified so and so individual. There should be a national and a global database of this, and everyone should put down, and then we will see how many people put down so many names, and we'll say yes, this person seems to be, that seems to have the mediator mindset. I'm actually looking at that. Everyone needs to identify, and that is all that matters. And if you look, obviously we like I said, I'm just talking about dispute resolution. Then these people, once they've taken this aspect, they've taken care of the dispute aspect of it, then the larger conflict resolution, they can start working on those areas. But I won't want them to digress right now, because there is enough in terms of dispute resolution to happen. But when we talk about courts, now everything that is lying in courts can now still be settled by people privately. You don't have to go to court to settle it. If your matter is lying in court, you can still settle it separately and go to court and say, look, we've settled the matter. The court can't say, no, 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 you have to fight the case out. They can't say that. So I'm saying, if 40 million, 4 crore cases are lying in the courts, there is enough work lying there. Let's settle all that out. And 1.8 crore matters go into courts every year. 1.8 crore matters get settled. I mean, in the sense, finally disposed of. So 4 crores, so will stay 4 crores for lifetime. This is an individual's life we're talking about. It is someone affected by it on a daily basis. His peace of mind is gone for that period. So let us all work together to make sure that all disputes which are pending should now be settled. Then let's talk about the larger picture. I mean, anyway, there are a lot of people who are doing their conflict resolution and all those areas they're working on. Let if they want to work in dispute resolution, damn good. Otherwise, they can keep doing that. But I'm saying that, imagine the numbers that we have. And when we say 1.8 crore matters get filed every year, it doesn't mean that's the only number of disputes. There are much more larger number of disputes which don't reach the courts. So can you imagine the numbers we're talking about? So we have enough work to do to identify these people, put them out in the world to actually help people to resolve disputes, and they have to do it every day and lots of it. And then finally we'll reach a stage when we can say that, like what Vedyas is saying, that this whole one model village to take up. And if we can make sure that we can have a situation where it is dispute free in every sense, that means all pending disputes and present disputes all get settled within that framework. If we can do that, I think that'll be a major achievement to show to people, yes, this can happen. And there's no hurry. I mean, it doesn't, I mean, everything can't happen in one day, 1 month, 1 year.
It will
Everything,
take
things
some
will
time.
take their time. But I think once you've gone into that direction, I think at least I am quite satisfied that everyone I speak to, Vedas, everyone I say, look, this Vedas is there, Gandhi Smriti is there. I feel whatever I'm saying will reach out to people. So I am relaxed now. So my golf game now is getting better that way. I get more, I can spend more time there.
No, no, we are very shortly going to start this whole work on this model village, as I told you.
Because what I see, what the main thing I see is that you're not bureaucratic. And that is, I think, the most important thing. Because if you were bureaucratic, then obviously it would go into the same thing. One file will move and it'll take 5 years for the file to reach any. But I think you're moving fast, and I think people are listening to you because you have practical insights, and obviously with your experience around the country and you've seen situations, ground reality, you
No,
know.
we are not bureaucratic here in Gandhi Smriti because we try to work fast. No, the
Yeah,
other day I had a talk with you. I had a talk with others, and I had a talk. As I told you, our director is himself a lawyer by profession, and he is very serious about this whole thing. He said, "You just go ahead, just start the whole thing."
yeah.
So, and
But there's so much.
out of the blue, I'm having so many. Because to be very frank, as I told you the first day I spoke to you, I am not a lawyer by profession, and this is a new area. And this is basically, I always tell my director, he has pushed me into this, and I am now, eating, sleeping, and thinking mediation.
Drinking, not drinking, nah. Don't do the drinking part
No,
of it.
no. So, so I am totally into it, and I motivated Mansi to do a PhD on this aspect. So
Very
now
good.
she is, so now it's totally into it. So we have, so
But
I'm
Mansi,
sure.
what has your experience been up till now when all this discussion is happening and everything?
So I am actually enjoying it. Being a law student, I actually did not look at mediation from that angle. For me, it was just another way to get the dispute settled. But now, after coming in contact with Veda sir and with you, sir, I could actually understand that how intricate these things are and how they can be applied in day-to-day processes. So
Yeah,
I am actually enjoying it more now, sir.
exactly.
So in law schools, we are taught the process, but
Yeah,
the entire emotions and what all stakes are involved in it, we can know them only when we are in touch with some expert who is doing something in reality. So,
yeah.
so that
And the
probably is
important
the
part is that, look, it is within you also, that whole like I keep saying mindset. I'll keep repeating that mindset is there inside you also. But now, whether you've been able to hone that or not, how you've gone about it in your life, basically everyone has so many other things happening to them. So maybe they don't look at this aspect of themselves. But I'm saying, if you just within yourself also just sit and say, look, do I have that mindset? And you'll find out maybe you have that mindset. But if you have that mindset, people around you will know you have that mindset. They will tell you. That is why I keep saying, ask families, ask teachers, ask those people. If you don't know, they know. So it's not difficult to identify. It's just that communication hasn't reached there because this word has become some kind of a large theory word. It's not a theory concept. It's just a very basic way of life. It's happening all over around us every day. I mean, think of, forget everyone else. I mean, let's give the examples of the policemen in our country. Every policeman works like a mediator. Whenever he hand comes into any scene, he says, "Why don't you settle it?" And he helps them settle it. He's doing it all the time. So that means we have a mediator on the ground all the time.
Mhm.
So if we are seeing that, but similarly in various other areas, do we know about people doing it? We'll find out. Yeah, the society in general will tell us once they know what we're talking about. But if you throw the theory part to them, they'll move away. They don't even consider it. They don't even know what you're talking about then. So
Oh,
let's not make it an abstract concept. Let's make it a real concept.
right,
Mhm.
sir. So this takes me to another question, sir. Since you have mentioned that there are people have this in them from the beginning, it is inbuilt that you have a mediation mindset. So but then there are people like me who are over emotional, though they might have some sort of emotional mindset. But since empathy is very important when in the process of mediation, according to the principles of nonviolent communication. So how, according to you, one can ensure that he or she doesn't get too emotionally involved in the entire
So that's
process?
what I'm saying. Look, that's what I'm saying. There's certain things. That's why it's a different concept. As a media mindset puts everything together. Look, being a nice person is damn good. We're being a nice person, but can you be an effective mediator is another thing. So every person who's emotional can't be. You can say, "Oh, I'm very empathetic." So no, there are a lot of factors which go with it. So what I keep saying is that every nice person can't be a mediator, but every mediator will be a nice person. So don't look at only the fact, oh, I'm emotional, I can understand people, I can understand their feelings. That's not good enough. There's lots more that goes to it. So I think we have to be able to not break it up and pick up one aspect of it and say, look, I have this quality. That's why I say there are a lot of things. And it's an overall thing which definitely maybe you also don't know. That is why the people around you become important, because they know that this is the person to go to. Okay, we have a dispute. Mansi is there. We'll go and talk to Mansi. She'll help us. Either whether that is a situation or not. And I'm not saying Mansi is like that. I'm just giving you an example. Maybe Mansi is not like that. Maybe Mansi is the one who creates the fights, and everyone has to go and help them settle the matters because Mansi has created the fight. Who knows what the situation is? But I'm just saying that when there is an individual like that in society, people know. And that is why how the whole process is going to happen. We are going to ask people. We're going to ask schools in terms of teachers. We're going to ask the students, and how we're going to do it with us. I think we have to work that out.
Yeah,
That do we,
definitely.
there should be a kind of a poll or something like a basic, okay, you answer this, so which person in the school has this can do this, something like that, and let them answer that, and within the school itself, and let the school identify it, because you will not be able to do it, collate all the information yourself.
Mhm.
But I think we need to have a very simple way of going about it. Once you last time we were discussing with Ved, I was telling him just a very basic communication goes out to the schools, to the teachers, that this is what mediation is, and this is what the mediator does. Just a very simple one. And like I was telling him, that bandwidth issue, data issues sometimes happen in remote places. We have to think, anything that we think of has to be thought from the remote village perspective.
Right.
If we can get to that remote village, we can get anywhere. So I thought maybe a little animated thing or something like that, very basic animation. And let's not give them words, like I told you, don't give them any complicated words, in very simple language, just to tell them this is what the process is, this is what mediation is, and this is how a mediator goes about it and helps them resolve the dispute. So for them to just either within the community, you can make some kind of a system where once they identify, they have some role to play. That is where these gram panchayat will come in. They can get a role at the gram panchayat level. I was thinking that actually these mediations that they do, they can actually be streamed live and let people experience real life mediation happening and actually resolution happening. And they will also learn from it. They will also say, okay, this kind of a situation happened there, and this is how it was resolved by them. So maybe we can try this. So everyone doesn't have to go through the same process again. They'll have already be there. And why not use these free resources available? One camera and the one data and data connectivity is required, and you've got a live thing going. Right now, do we have a live thing going all over the world? It can go, because a lot of people in this, everyone thinks this. There's some, like I said, some rocket science mediation, but when they see it in action and they actually see real things happening, which because people are charging people to watch mock mediations. Mock, that means one, they're, it's like actors sitting there with a script, and
Mhm.
people are paying money to watch that. I'm saying here you can live stream actual mediations happening at community level. What if there's no confidentiality issue in a community level? Okay, my neighbor has broken my wall. What is the confidentiality in it? Let it be streamed live. Let people know that this is how it happens.
That is that is very true.
So you actually have that Gandhian mindset, because you just mentioned that we have to look at the last person we are going to reach through this process of mediation. So is there any other principle of Gandhian ideology which you
Yeah,
apply in your?
let me tell you, look again, it's become a joke in what my meetings also everywhere. I don't read books. I don't know these concepts. Because according to me, if you have good intention and you're talking about good things, by itself will fit into some Gandhian principle or not. Because it's about very basic things. I'm sure he said very basic things. He's not a man of, I mean, complicated kind of words and everything. Let me tell you, I have picked up some books. I think I picked them up from, I think when I went to Ahmedabad or somewhere there. They're lying with me, Village Swaraj. I It's lying there. I want to pick it up one day because I really felt that self-sufficiency of villages is a big thing. Should happen. So that book is very thick, thin. It's not very thick, thin little book, but I can't get to read it. So it happened one day. I'd rather Ved Vyas tell me everything about it. I'll take his word for it. But I told him that if someone can tell us about Panchayati
Yes,
Raj
yes.
and all
We
this,
can have a, separate
yeah,
session with you. I
we
can.
should have that.
Yes, yes, yes.
So, do you insist on parties being truthful when they are having a conversation with each other,
Absolutely,
or they
absolutely.
can are they allowed to manipulate things?
No, no, never should. No, it doesn't work out. It doesn't work out in the long run. You can do it. You can try it out once. Maybe you can attempt it, but it's going to fall back on you somewhere or the other. It's not worth it. And why should you do it? First of all, you have to ask yourself: is the other person so important that I need to manipulate things? Is he? Why are you doing it? Is he that important? No, yeah. No, nothing in this world is so important. Your peace of mind, and definitely, if you do those things, your peace of mind is going to get affected. So I have hair on my head now. Ved Vyas doesn't. Now whether we have to see whether he thinks too much. I don't think so much. Let things happen. Let them flow. Be honest in everything that you do. That's it. Yeah. Why are we getting into this? We're supposed to get into mediation. We're not talking about ourselves. That's a different communication we'll have.
So actually, I am somewhere between non-violent communication and mediation because I am studying Gandhian principles as well as I am a law student, a former law student. I have completed my degree.
Mhm.
Uh, so that is why I'm just trying to bring both of them together. So
So I think
that's
that
my
part of
point.
it, you need to educate me on that. What we'll have is a separate Zoom meeting we'll have, and
Sure, sir.
you can with Vyas is also, he has a lot of experience and everything. We'll sit together. We'll have a general discussion on this. We can live stream that also. There's no problem. Let people watch it. I'm sure they'll be interested in that. But at least we should. That part of it is a by itself a major area which I need to be educated on in terms of, again, this is the theory part of it. Okay, Gandhiji said this. This is his theory on this. So that's an education I need. But I mean, I'm not going to go to class now. I'm not going to do any diploma in Gandhian philosophy. He sent me, Vedya sent me this on this nonviolent communication, that little, whatever that document that you have, that
Yeah, that's the
training
course material
course
of our.
material. Can't go through it. I mean, Vedyas will tell me in 10 minutes, he'll tell me what it says, and I'll have to read it. I don't know how much time. There's so many other things. Like I told you, finally it goes back to, am I getting time to play golf or not? If it's going to affect that, I'm not going to read anything. That simple. Because finally, I'm telling you, finally, whatever you read, it all comes back to this, that if the basic intention is good, you are honest, everything will fall around that only.
Ah, that
You,
is true. That is absolutely true. That is absolutely, absolutely.
So you
Absolutely.
had mentioned that we have mediators everywhere. So policemen settling a dispute,
hmm,
or for that matter, you were also talking about panchayats. So, but in our
Panchayat.
country, panchayats
Panchayat we'll
doesn't
have to
exist.
discuss separately, because I'm telling you, I don't know whether they're working as mediators or as arbitrators.
No, no, sir. What I want to say is that even policemen and panchayats are more of adjudicators rather than being mediators, because
No,
there
no,
is a threat. There is
no,
an
no,
element
they're
of
not
threat in this.
adjudicators. Policemen are not adjudicators. They're not supposed to be
They kind of give
adjudicators.
adjudicators
Not
in
at
a
all.
sense the
Not at all.
words that they give decisions
Not at
that
all.
you do.
Not at all. Policeman is not supposed to do that. He's just an investigative thing. He's just supposed to investigate things. He's supposed to give it to the court. The court is supposed to do
Right.
the adjudication. Policeman has,
No, no, Sam.
if he thinks he has that role to play, I think there's a problem somewhere. There's a problem. There'll be a problem in the system, because then we don't have to have courts. Then let's be a police state only. Let the police do everything. But there is a whole concept of police mediation. Actually, there's a whole
There is a whole concept of
concept of
police
that. I think
mediation.
we need to take that up. I think Vedras will be the right person to take that forward also, because
Mhm.
there was this person from Spain. We've been trying to get him to discuss it. He sent a certain some document that he's created. I'll send that to you. So
Okay.
he's
Okay.
set up in AC Valencia in Spain. He
Mhm.
set up this whole. There's an app also they've created for mediation, that police mediation thing. So actually, at the first instance, that mediation is attempted there. So I think you can look at that also.
Okay, so how do you settle a new narrative into the minds of the parties mediating through since you have you will not be using the term non-violent communication. So is use of threat or fear okay with you as long as it helps the parties to settle down their
No,
disputes?
not at all. No, no, that's a that's a bad way of going about it. People do that, I know, and nothing.
So
Because
then,
I'm
what
telling you
is
that if it doesn't come voluntarily from the person within, it is not going to be a long term thing. At that point of time, they might show that they've settled it. The issue also, everything has to be settled. It is not that that moment they just shake it their hands and they walk off. You thinking, oh no, settlement has happened. If the person hasn't, it has to come totally from within, and the person has to walk off happy, satisfied. Yes, everything happened for the best, and they should not, because what is going to happen is they walk out from there. There will be people who will talk to them. Oh, you settled at that. You settled for this. You settled for this. He should be able to explain to them that look, what I did was the right thing to do. He should be able to get that much confidence when he walks out, because there's so many other influences outside that area when he's doing that, whatever mediation is happening. Beyond that, he's also part of society. There are going to be relatives who are going to talk to him, business people who are going to talk to him. So he should be really confident in the what has been done. He's the best
Right.
person to explain to them that look, this is the best thing that could have happened to me. This is the best settlement that we've done. So don't do compromise on that aspect. Don't push people into things, because I know I hear of mediators in the courts also. They kind of tell the people, no, no, you have to do this. There was some interview. I was some Supreme Court lawyer who, so he's been trained also. I think there he was some interview was saying the mediator will decide. He uses that terminology. I mean, if a mediator is saying that the mediator will decide, then I think there's a fundamental problem. We don't even know what is happening in those rooms,
Mhm.
because it's a confidential thing. We don't know what's happening inside. So it's a I think that part of it. I mean, I was just today only discussing with someone on this aspect of mediation and conciliation in our country. The way I think the Supreme Court obviously tried to say that they're interchangeable, but actually, like I said, Parliament doesn't use language just like that. In the Civil Procedure Code, mediation and conciliation, both the words are there. Now, mediation goes into the court annex mediation centers you send for mediation. Conciliation goes as conciliation under the Arbitration Conciliation Act. So why were these two words used? According to me, Parliament understood that once it goes to the mediation, it goes to the mediation center, the whole attitude of the lawyer, be it lawyers or whatever profession they might be from, as long as they're part of that center, they will try to suggest to the parties. Under conciliation, it is provided that the conciliator can suggest. So, according to me, what was trying to be put down was look, you don't try to suggest. You are just a facilitator. This is where there's this concept of facilitative, evaluative, this aspect comes up. So,
Yes.
Parliament was trying to say that that process of a matter which is lying in court should be a facilitative process, because we are sitting there, court is sitting there. Na? We are there to decide things if that doesn't work out. But do not try to impose anything. So they understood the attitude, what will be. They'll try and impose things on them, which I'm telling you from that interview. When I heard that, I understood this is what is happening, because I'm not part of the court thing at all. I'm not even interested what's happening there, good or bad, I don't know. Because from the profession point of view, we want the profession to develop. We don't want mediation to be free for parties. We don't want mediation centers to be developed, infrastructure to be, there is land taken, building taken, for we are funding people's disputes. You go and fight and you come to us and you are getting it for free. Court fee will also be refunded to you. So what are we doing here? We want to dispute. We want to fund their disputes. There are much better things to fund in this country rather fund people's disputes. They should actually be paying 10 times the thing that everyone else pays for getting into a dispute. Why should you be getting into a dispute? You should be able to resolve it yourself.
Mhm.
So I think we need to. I think the whole the way the whole thing is structured, because obviously the courts want matters to get settled. Okay, it goes out of the court system, but in that process, it should not happen that the profession gets affected. And also, parties should not get this signal that we can get into a dispute. We'll go to the mediation center, no issue. They will charge 500, 1,000 rupees, and we'll get a mediator also. If that kind of a thing, I mean, people who are anywhere else in the world listen to this. I mean, $10, $15, a mediator to get for a session. I mean, what are we talking about? In the CPC says minimum qualification is 10 years of experience for a lawyer. A lawyer with 10 years experience is going to get $10, $15, and when the high court, I mean, the senior advocates are going to charge $10,000 for a hearing. Some of them charge $20,000 for a hearing. There's a major mismatch. The profession is not going to develop this way. So there's some fundamental problem, but I won't obviously get into that part because I'm not part of that world. But I think we need to question that aspect and not go that route. What route that you are going is the ideal route. Hit the community straight, hit the school straight, that whole peer mediation thing. Let's have the direct channel there. Let's talk to them, set up the whole system there. We don't, the court thing should not be there at all. Then obviously that whole discussion happens that court system is not part of our culture. This came, the British gave it to us, whatever structure has been created, all that. So all the debates will keep happening. So that's
Fine,
how my view.
fine, fine.
Vedas, you be quiet for quite some time. You have to,
No, no,
what
no.
are
I was
you,
listening to both of you, and good points that came up, and new things comes up. So I think what we can do is we could continue the conversation while I uh, work further on this whole aspect.
yeah, we
I
should
would
keep,
like to.
we should keep having these conversations,
I
because it's
will
not
like.
a one
I
day
would
thing.
like to get back to you after I put together certain, the way on which we are going to do in the Gram Panchayat level,
Yeah.
because hopefully in the next few months' time we should be able to start the whole process.
Yeah, that
So
peer mediation thing is important. That 16th, what we are discussing
yeah,
that day.
16.
So that day,
Yes, yes,
Mansi, you also want to be part of that, you can also come there. It's an open house. Anyone can come there. So
peer
basically,
mediation.
Awesome.
but before that, you'll have to watch that video, the last one, the peer mediation, that meeting that we
I
had
So
already
I
earlier.
shared.
was there. Yes,
I've
I was
already
there
shared.
in that session as well. Yes, sir.
Okay, you were quiet, Acharya. You were
Huh.
video off, sitting in the corner. We don't like that, those people, huh? Who you put the
I
video
know.
off and sitting in one
I
corner. We
was
don't know what they're
hesitant
doing.
because I had joined for the very first time and I didn't want to interfere. I
No, no,
was
you
just
have to
listening.
interrupt. You have to interrupt. There is no way out. If you something comes in your mind, it's an open house. Yeah, everyone. The whole idea. We're also in some way learning from each other. Also, we're trying to take the process through. We have no vested interest in the whole thing. We just everyone's trying to do a good job. So I think we just have to just main thing is just have these communication, these conversations going.
That's right. No, no, no. Fine. So, in fact, we will like to have once I put together certain way on which the process of introducing this whole concept at the Gram Panchayat level, we will have a separate conversation on that, and
Absolutely,
possibly you can
anytime.
give your ideas on how best it could succeed. So, I think
So
that
there's one more thing I would like to ask. So since you have been interacting with a good number of mediators from around the globe, so do you find any fundamental difference in the way they deal with their clients or parties while mediating and the way mediation happens in India, sir?
No, I don't know. I think India, look, let's not talk about India. Not too much is happening in terms of private mediation. So, because I'm talking about private mediation, court related, we also don't know what those people are doing. But in terms of private mediation, the problem is this aspect of training which has come in. Most all of them are trained. There's some training on the other, some certification, all they have. Now that box that you put yourself into, this whole concept that somewhere there is a pure concept of facilitative mediation will only be facilitative. Now, if you have that in your mind, then when you're sitting in a mediation, when do you say, okay, oh, now I'm not being facilitated, now I have to stop myself? So that is not a natural thing. So I think that is where I have a problem with people who have been given that kind of training and has gone into their system. The point is that when you are there, you're sitting there, you are just trying to work the way it works, like you said, organically. Can't have these level. Okay, now I can go here but not beyond. I can reach my hand out if you reach your hand up till here, but after that I won't reach up my hand out. You can fall down the cliff. I don't care a damn. But I've been told I can't put my hand any further. And if you have to save someone, you have to put your hand out as much as you can. So I think this is a bit of a difference I see. Here the advantage is, I mean, oh, look, I don't know again what is happening in the training and all that, whether they're telling them these things, but maybe a lot of training we've also picked up from other parts of the world only. Whether we are creating special training for the Indian context, is it required or not? That's for you people to debate. You are the academicians. I am just a practical man sitting in my practical world. So I can't get into that. So, so the training part, I won't get into theory. I won't get into all these books and all. I won't get into everything else. I can discuss. You are learned people. Yeah, you have
no,
so
no,
much to teach me.
no,
No,
not
no,
at all,
sir.
not at all. So I think it was a very good experience, this whole conversation, and we have also I personally have learned a lot, some important points which I need to put in my system by putting these points together.
The same here. Same
Yeah.
here, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So
No,
so
anytime. You just keep
so
having conversation. That's it. That's the main thing.
yeah. So we are seriously moving ahead with doing, and let's hope we are able to do something
No,
concrete.
no. I'm telling you, like they said, the intention is good, and your intention is good. Good things
Okay,
will happen.
okay. So my colleague Rajdeep has a question. Please come. No, no, no. Come here. Come. No. Come here. He will not like you.
Yeah, yeah. You can't stand at the back and do it. But can you hear? Can you hear? Can you hear me or not?
Yeah. Please
Yeah.
come here. I was listening.
all through. Sir, good afternoon to you
Good
first.
afternoon. Baith jao, Rajdeep. Please sit. I would have to see your face also. Your sweater might be nice, but we have to see your face.
Thank you. I mean, the way, sir. I mean, it was wonderful listening to you, sir. I mean, I was wanting to just learn a little bit in the sense that how do we go beyond the structured mediation actually that we. I mean, and I mean, if you can explain it very briefly, I have heard what you said. It's totally related to death, but then, sir, like sometimes we even though we want to mediate and work out new dimensions, perhaps we are limited with our structures. So,
No, luckily, I'll tell you what, Rajdeep, the advantage is that at least in our country right now, that structured thing is only happening in the courts. So, and we don't have to have anything to do with that. And
mhm,
the courts itself should not have much to do with it. They should also be sending it out because the lawyers in the courts have so much work to do there. There's so many pending disputes that why should they be spending time on these things? There's so many other people outside, they can do that. That's one part of it. But that structured, there should be no structure. How is there a structure? Who's created those structures? It is all, these are word theories. People who read, you three read theories, so you know this. For me, there is no structure. This is actually a totally an informal process. I'm saying sit in your drawing room and do it. What is this? When you see online, you see these videos of mock mediations and all, people sitting on a table, one head of the table, a mediator is sitting. I feel that whole format is wrong. So now we've gone online. Everyone is on the same page on the screen. Everyone on the same screen. At least that aspect has gone out. It is, you are supposed to be in a very, very informal kind of situation because you are understanding each other, trying to sit and understand each other.
mhm,
And when you have to understand each other, you don't have to have a class. You're not sitting in a class that someone has to tell you that you have to understand each other. You have to do it yourself. The other person is just sitting there to give you direction when required. If you are moving in the right direction, why should someone else need to give you direction? I don't know whether you heard, I said, why, first of all, why reach that stage of mediation?
mhm,
Sit and do it, understand each other. You're good human beings. They understand the other person's problem. It could be a problem that he's genuinely facing. Try and look at it. So as a society, like I think initially when we started that discussion, I said society as the way it's society the way it's structured, that is the issue. Mediation, it needs no structure.
yes, okay, okay.
So I think we need to at the same time start. Okay, it's not going to be easy. I mean, obviously there are reasons for societies to develop the way they do. And in, let's just for ourselves tell ourselves, in general, people are good human beings. They are put in circumstances and they live in those circumstances. To get one individual out of that, it's like on the road. You're in Delhi, you've seen how we drive on the road.
Yes,
Now I can tell myself I am going to stick to my lane and I'm going to drive very nicely. The other guy doesn't know that. He's going to do what he's going to do. But can there be one day when the entire city says, today we are all going to behave on the road. We will drive nicely. We will be nice to each other. Only then will change happen. One person cannot do that. No? I can be the best, but what use is it? So I think we just have to tell ourselves as a society one day that look, this lockdown was a good point. Very nice messages on WhatsApp. Everyone became very spiritual. We are going to do good things. And the first day the lockdown opened, I thought the road situation will change. We are back to square one the first day. So how does that happen? I don't know. What do we think? Look, I mean, there must be a lot of factors to it. Like we said, those are for sociological tests, studies, and all for them to do why it's happening. But there is some issue that can easily be resolved. Same thing with the pollution in Delhi. You saw our skies became nice and clear, everything was good, but we went back to square one. So at least there is hope that things can become good. It is just us getting out of those day-to-day things. Maybe everyone needs to maybe just fight each other for whatever little pie that is available to them. So after we have to expand the pie somehow. Really thought that the villages, when people going back to the villages, everyone obviously was talking about the immigrant labor and everything. I felt that was a good move because the conditions that they have to live in large cities, it's inhuman. That is by itself the worst that could happen to them. But if they go back to the villages and we can create, that is where I don't know. Look, this Gandhian concept of village Swaraj, definitely if you have someone who knows more about it, because I definitely will not be able to read. I will attempt, but won't happen. Someone can explain that part. I think that is where we have to move. So dispute resolution is part of it at the village level, but a lot of other things that he spoke about, I'm sure they're very practical because he was a practical man, as I understood. So I think that part of it was a good move if that happens. Didn't
Thank
answer your question. I'm sorry you had some
No,
other
no,
question, but
no. Absolutely, I think so. Absolutely. I
you've
mean,
picked up the wrong guy. He can keep talking. His meetings, they go up, some of them go up to almost 3 hours. So
no, 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 no,
you've
no.
got the wrong person on your.
No, 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 it's not. The pleasure is ours at the end of the day. I mean, it's really the pleasure is ours.
No, no, we should keep having these conversations. I have that open house. You can go to the website. You have the date and time there. There's no registration required. Just click the link. Just come in. We'll have our conversations there. I keep sitting there, so I'm available.
Definitely. Thank you for
No
giving us
problem
the
at all.
time. We'll not take up the time for your golf.
No, that is morning golf. Today that golf course is closed. That's why I'm sitting with you. No, that is anyway morning. So afternoons are kept for this. Morning is kept for that. It's very clear.
Wonderful. That's fantastic. But sir, it has been a wonderful session hearing you. I mean, it's really, I mean, so much to learn. I mean, thank you, sir. I'm giving it back to Vedaji.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was,
Please. Oh yeah.
please.
Thanks a lot.
Please.
Thank you. I think
So did you hear Vedas what I told him?
yes.
You've
No,
got the wrong guy. You've got the wrong guy. You can go on. So I think you have to say, okay, now let's cut off. I have the button in my hand. I have to press the end. So
No, I
now
think
whenever you say, I can press the end.
yes. I think we should continue the dialogue,
Yeah, yeah.
and really, it's a great honor to dialogue
Please,
with
yeah,
you.
come on, honor. These are good words to use for those people who have who those that we here. We're just generally having a conversation, and that's
Yes,
it.
yes. Good conversation, very meaningful and constructive conversation. Where
But this should
we,
translate into you people. What from that, at least coming out with whatever the practical steps are
yes. So
working, then
uh,
then we'll discuss that. But Mansi's
yeah,
taken a lot of notes. Then those
yeah.
notes to be converted into what are the steps to be taken, and then take
Taken.
it forward from that.
That's right. And also the challenge is the real, the biggest success of these conversations would be when we are able to actually
Absolutely,
to act.
absolutely.
That
That's it.
is
That's what.
that will be
No theories, actual action.
yes, yes, and also it will be something which will be not just me or you or Mansi. Many of us would be so intrinsically satisfied that we have
Yeah,
been able to contribute at least something.
yeah.
So that is something very important. So thank
Absolutely.
you very much,
No problem
all
at
of
all.
you, and
Anytime.
Thank
it's
you.
good.
All right, bye. Bye, Mansi.
But,
Bye, Vidyas.
so
Now,
please send me
Thank you so much.
recording.
I'll just say what I'll do is I'll send you a link, the link of the recording. You can then
Yeah.
download it, then I'll
Yes,
delete it.
yes, yes,
It
yes, yes.
anyways, no, anyways, immediately as soon as I end this meeting, it's
Uh-huh.
already available. It'll be available on the YouTube channel.
That's right.
You can share it from there directly.
Uh-huh.
There is
No,
nothing I
no,
need to
if you
do.
can WhatsApp me, I will send it to my technical
No,
person.
no, it's
Right?
going to be there on the watch on YouTube right now.
Uh-huh.
It's going to be the video is going to be there.
Okay, okay,
And you
okay.
can share it directly from there. That's what I'm saying.
That's
Those free resources are available to us.
yes, yes, yes,
YouTube
yes.
is storing the entire
Story.
video for us.
Yeah,
What else do
yeah.
we want?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Fine, fine.
All right. See you.
Okay, fine. See
Bye.
you.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Mansi.